Happy Thursday! Today is April 16th, 2026. Welcome to a new program. I call it Life Skills for Children. Why is it that our schools do not teach life skills? They didn't teach life skills when I was going to school in the 60s and 70s. They didn't teach my children life skills. They're not teaching my grandchildren life skills. And then we wonder how the teenagers become who they are. How come they don't know how to deal with their life? And adults, if we don't know how to do it, if we've never been taught, no wonder most of us are crashing, falling, slipping, dropping, crashing. Now, of course, if you've been listening to me for a while, you know that I believe in rising. I was raised to believe, to never give up. I remember as a child, somebody bought me a little book, and it was about a train. I don't even know the name of it. It's probably still around. But this little train is chug, 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 chug on the track. And all of a sudden it comes to this big hill, and it starts to climb the hill, and it's chug, 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 chug. It is getting difficult. And the little train is trying to climb up this mountain or big hill, whatever it is, and it just wouldn't give up. I remember that book. I loved it. And for some reason, maybe it was my parents, I always believed that giving up was not an option. How about your children, or your grandchildren, or your nieces and nephews, or yourself? It's difficult. I have a theory. Once we know better, we do better. Life is a huge learning curve in itself. And I know I've done a lot of things wrong. That's why they call people that have aged their wisdom years. I've learned so much. And I'm so happy that I'm still here to share some of it. So let me begin. I believe children are people too. They're just little people. And humans, ourselves, learn in 3 different ways. We learn by listening, we learn through visualization, and some learn through feelings. Now, I would say we all learn through those 3 things, but we are all unique individuals, including children, and we are going to have one of those things more dominant in our life than the other 2. Personally, I'm a visual learner. I would rather read. I've got a logical mind, and if I read it, I can absorb it better. My listening, I have certainly improved in the years, over my years, and I become much better listener. But that in itself is also a skill. And my feelings, well, I have learned to pay attention to my feelings, because that is a great teacher in itself. So we need to teach our children those 3 things. I've talked to my grandchildren about it, and all of them are different. The oldest one, he says, yeah, I listen. I can learn better by listening. He has a hard time comprehending the written word. But if you just sit and talk to him and verbalize the question, he's like, oh yeah, that's easy. You know, and these children are going through school systems that are insisting that everybody learns the same way. Sit down, be quiet, and listen. Now, what I have learned through my years of raising children and watching my grandchildren being raised is boys. I don't care what you say. There's a difference between the female and the male. Boys are active. You know, I have a daughter and a son. And when they were growing up, they were much different. My daughter was much more relaxed as a young child. Not so much as a teenager, but that's a different story. So, but as a child, much more relaxed. My son, he would wake up, want to swing the chandeliers, run down the stairs, fly down the staircase, you know, run out into the puddles, find a dirt hole or dirt hill that he can get as dirty in as he possibly can. And the school system gave him a really hard time because he just couldn't sit still. He was too active. So, you know, he always struggled in school. Now, if you go to a private school, there are some that will react to each unique child. But the public system, no, they want everybody to be the same. And the people that are the teachers, think about this, the people that are the teachers got their education through university. So they were programmed from kindergarten right up to graduation from university to sit down, be quiet, and listen. So why wouldn't they teach that to the children? Something to think about, right? So, this is what I'll be talking about in the next little while. Life skills for children. I hope you join me. Have a wonderful evening. Namaste.